Well done.
My name is Remilekun Kehinde Philip, and I am the lead coach at Can everyone hear me?
You were breaking.
Can we hear me?
Yes, now, yes. We can now.
Okay, yeah, I realized that network keeps logging me, but I think I'm a bit stable now.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm a bit stable now. Yeah. Mrs. Oshashana, please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I don't know. The internet keeps logging me out, so I think I'm a bit stable now.
Okay.
All right. So good evening, everybody. Can you just unmute yourself and say good evening? Hello.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Bukola. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, ma.
Okay, who else do we have here?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening. I can't see the names. I'm just
Good
seeing.
evening, ma'am. My name is Damilare Kehinde Philip.
Sadari. How are you?
Very well, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, Bukola, please can you just kindly send a reminder to everyone on the, on the group, just to tell them that we have started. It will not
I've
look
done
like.
that already.
Okay.
I will do it again. I'll do that
Okay.
again.
Okay. Can you just give me a few seconds? Let me also quickly share on my platform too.
Okay, ma.
Thank you. Okay, so good evening, everybody. We are starting outrightly. So just like I was saying, my name is Remilekun Kehinde Philip, and I am the lead coach at Mindshift Series Academy. And basically, what do we do at Mindshift? We help individuals to have a mind shift, because I have come to realize that the battleground for everyone in achieving their desired, purpose in life, or usually start from the mind. And once the mind is captured, every other thing, follows suit. So at Mindshift Series Academy, we help business owners, help individuals. Okay. I need somebody to help me admit people. Bukola, can you please do that? Thank you, everyone. So, like I was saying, at Mindshift Academy, what we help individuals and business owners to do is to have this mind shift. We help individuals, to capture their mind and to help them believe that they can actually become whatever they want to be in life. Anyone can achieve their purpose. Anyone can, move from a particular point to the next point. And what we also do basically is to help you connect the dotted lines. So some individuals, their dotted line might just be the fact that they can't just move from a particular point, to achieve the desired result that they would have wanted to. So at Mindshift, just the way our names actually connote, that is exactly what we do. So if you come to Mindshift and you are a timid person, I guarantee you that by the teachings and by the things you hear us share on daily basis, or as part, as we continue to enlighten people and to give them some kind of knowledge that is appeal to individuals, I want to tell you that you cannot afford to just lag behind. You will always have this mindset that would move you from where you were to where you are supposed to be in life, and also in career and in business generally. So tonight, I have somebody, who I call a very good friend. In fact, she's actually my one-time boss. I have been privileged to work with her, years back. You can't even imagine, how we met. But, I've always come to realize that there is also something that is very important in life, and it is relationship. Yeah. I tell people not to joke with their relationships. It is very key, because, see, let me tell you, there are things that your individual capability will achieve, but there are some other things that relationships will take you there. And so I have been, sorry, excuse me, please. Have been privileged to enjoy good relationships with people. I have had people, over decades that I've done one thing or the other with. And so I have come to realize that relationship is the bedrock for a successful, journey in life. And so I remember that sometimes this year I started on a journey, and I called it self-care. I started a challenge called self-care challenge. And actually it was for me as an individual, because I just wanted to be at a particular point in my journey that, nothing comes in between me and where I'm heading to. And so I started this journey, and little did I know that it was going to, create a kind of shit for so many people. And I keep getting some regular responses from people to say, oh, this challenge that you're doing, are you just going to stop, or it's going to be a continuous thing? And before I know what was happening, I had to take this, challenge, to another level where I get every other person involved. And so because of the situation, we have also find ourselves in the country, I realized that there are certain things that we do not have control over. And there are also some other things that we have control over. So the things that we do not have control over, how do we shift? And for the ones that we have control over, how do we manage them? How do we keep getting the energy that we need for each particular day as things evolve in the country? And I want to tell you that a lot of people are going through stuff. There was a story of an accountant that, I know it's everywhere on the social media. This lady works with Glow. I mean, is it Glow? Yeah. I think she works with Glow back home. And I heard that, I read that she took sniper just because, she wasn't married, and she went into depression and all of that. Now, it gives me a kind of concern to say, who are the people that she's surrounded by? Of course, sometimes you might even have people around you to think they are present, because individuals too also have the things that they go through. So I have come to realize that your mind needs to be at present with your very personality. And so that is why we have brought our guests tonight to help us demystify the relationship between mindfulness, productivity, and relationship. How can we marry these three things together such that we can achieve our desired goal, even as we have set out to achieve a whole lot this year, despite the fact that we do not have control over some things that is happening in the country. And so the things that we have control over, how can we also manage them such that we experience productivity at the end of the year? So I want to encourage you to fasten your seatbelt and let's have a good, ride as we progress on this coaching call tonight. And so I have the person I called Mrs. Oshasha. I can't stop calling her. I just call her Mrs. Oshashano. So her name is Fola Wiwo Oshashano. She's the convener as the Wellness Corporate, Limited, and she helps employees have the right mindset at work. Maybe I should just let her just introduce herself, because this floor is all about her tonight. It's nothing about me. So, Mrs. Fola Oshashano, you are welcome to Mindshift Series Academy coaching call. So, can you take the floor? Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. How do you do? And Remy, I cannot hear you. I think, okay, fine. Everybody is muted. It's fine. It's fine. If you want us to be muted, but I would appreciate feedback. So if you can unmute, it would be greatly appreciated, such that I won't feel lonely here.
Okay.
So how is everyone? I can see Bukola. I can see Damila Ray. It's a pleasure to be doing this with everyone. And I'll start by saying thank you, Remy, for thinking I can actually deliver on your platform. I do not take this for granted. And as you rightly said, that we dated like way back. So, and we are products of mindfulness. Because each time I look at where we are coming from and where we are now, those dreams that we had then, they looked like lofty dreams. We had those dreams then, and it was wild because we were free to dream, and we were in that space there where nothing, absolutely nothing was holding us back. We were dreamers, definitely. We had amazing dreams. And each time I look back in it, retrospect, I thank God for those times. A lot has happened. A lot of I'm sure the time we're talking about was like 9-10 years ago when we connected. And a lot has happened in that space of time. And I always thank God for that space, that time, that phase of our lives, that we were able to connect, and we actually made meaningful decisions that we did not even know. When we're not sure what the future held, but we actually made up our minds that we're going to go this route. And the scripture says something that writes the vision and make it plain, that those that see it might run with it. So I'm grateful for what God is doing with you. It gladdens my heart seeing that you are moving in your strength, and it can only be God. So I'm Fola Oshashono. And let me say thank you to Mr. Damilare too for being for being a source of strength. We appreciate you. And to everyone too, I know you, we all, I wish this is a virtual, I wish this is a physical meeting where we can see ourselves. I'm sure we all have our stories. I'm sure we all have our stories. Because let me drop this as we start, that we are where we are first, because we imagined it. Let me take that again. We are where we are today. Wherever we are today was first imagined. And I would let that be the introduction into the series we are having today. So we are where we are now because we first imagined it. You might tell, and that's the truth. You know, okay, let's start by saying that, for instance, this discussion we are having this evening, we knew it was coming up by 7. We have imagined it. We've planned our day. You know, this is a very simple illustration. We've planned our day. Like, for instance, whatever was scheduled before now, I'd told everyone, I'm having a session by 7 to 8, so I will be unavailable. So that shows you, even when it was not 7 p.m., everything about me was in alignment that I had a meeting for 7. So in my subconscious, I was careful to make sure that nothing comes to interfere with that plan. So for me to be here now, I'm not surprised that I'm here, because I've actually programmed it. I've actually imagined it. I've actually prepared to be here. So in that same light, that is how mindfulness is. Today, I'm a wellness consultant because I actually decided that this is the path I want to tread. And in all my thoughts, in everything I do, what I see is mindful wellness. Everywhere I go to, the ideas that drop to me, we might see the same thing. We might both see these glasses I'm wearing. But when I see the glasses I'm wearing, what comes to mind for me is wellness. If you ask me to describe the glasses I'm wearing, I would describe it through the lens of wellness, because that is what I have decided deliberately that I want, the path I want to take. So everything that I see it through that light. And interestingly, opportunities come in that direction, and I can see it because I've actually programmed my mind to pick on things around wellness. You know, my organization will do some things and people will be asking, you guys, it seems you see into the future. Let me cite an instance. We had an international event in 2019, and it was on artificial intelligence, because then the issue with the workplace, the concern among employees then was, what will be their place in the future of work?
Yeah.
So the agitation then was, are machines going to take over the future of work? Are machines going to usher us into the future of work? So as an organization, we were prepared. We were like, okay, if this is actually going to stress people to the point of it affecting their performance, we think it is something we have to address. So we actually organized like a session where we talked effectively on positioning yourself to be effective in the future of work. And that was how we did through 2019. As humans, you know, the best we can do is prepare. Life happens. That is the thing. Life happens. And we have grown to understand that there are things we can control and things we cannot control. So I said that to actually take us somewhere. So that was how we anticipated the future of work to come. We anticipated the future of work to come through AI. But interestingly, we all knew what ushered us into the future of work: COVID, right? So I'm saying this to let us understand that mindfulness is you just taking charge of what you can control at that point in time. And if you check the dictionary definition and the definition that flies around, it says mindfulness is being present in the moment. It is you owning that moment because it is the only thing we have. The moment is the only thing we have. We cannot control what happened yesterday, but we can control what is happening in the immediate. And with that, we can predict the future. We can actually, to a large extent, decide that, okay, this is where I want to be by this time next year, because God has given us that power. And the way it works, the universe also supports it. And so when we did that in 2019, 2020 struck, COVID happened. Those that were in our community, they were already prepared. They were even like, you guys, it seems that you saw into the future, so they were prepared to actually be in charge. So apparently, AI is here to stay. Humans too, we are here to stay. What makes the difference is what you are doing with your opportunities that the challenges are throwing up. So now we are here now, we are in the now of work. And I'm grateful for this session because these are prompters that will put us in check to be sure that we are not distracted, to be sure that we are still putting ourselves in that space where we can be found, in that space where we can be relevant. Because it is very important for us it is very easy for us to be distracted if care is not taken with everything happening here and there. So mindfulness for me is taking us, as I've established earlier, from point A to point B. This is who I am now. So who do I need to become to actually get to point B? So in everything we'll be discussing tonight, I don't want us to forget that mindfulness, it is actually putting the spotlight on ourselves, not on any other person. It is who you are becoming, who you need to become to actually to move from one point to the other. And as Remy established in our intro, she said she took on that journey of self-care because she needed that to become who she should be as a wife, as a mother, as a career woman. So it is in that light that I want us to address mindfulness tonight. So mindfulness is about us. The focus is on us. Then after we are sorted, when we are in a good frame of mind, that is when we can actually reach out and be all of us to everybody around us. I always say this. By default, we are givers. As humans, we are givers. We keep giving, we keep giving, we keep giving, to the point that we forget the need to receive. And that is a missing link that we have to be careful of. You cannot be at your best if you do not take time to receive. You cannot perform optimally if you do not take time to receive. And when I say receive, it is about you being in tune with yourself. Even, I don't know, I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to take us to church, but mindfulness is more scriptural than anything. This Bible says, I wish above all things that you be in good health and prosper. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. I think I missed a part.
Yeah.
Even as your soul prospers. So there's a prosperity of the soul. There's a prosperity of the soul that actually makes every other thing possible. If you are not in that place mentally, if you are not in that place within, you can actually not do much. And what I've understand in this journey is, if we are not careful, if we do not pay attention to ourselves in becoming who we want to be, in achieving our goals, we might even achieve that goal and still find ourselves empty because we lost ourselves in the process of becoming whoever we want to be. And I'm going to take that again. It is important for us to be mindful in this journey of every day I want to achieve this goal. This is 2022. This is June already. I've set some goals in January. And as humans, it's natural for us to want to say, I have to measure how far we've come. But if care is not taken, we will keep trying to see how far we have gone without taking time to actually see who we are becoming in the process of achieving everything that we are trying to achieve. And you find out that it happens that most people, when they become accomplished, when they've achieved everything that they've set their mind to do, they still feel so empty. That is because they left that part of them. They did not nurture the part of them that is most important, and that is their mind. They achieved everything at the expense of what is most important. They did not find themselves. They were just chasing, oh, I want to become this, I want to do that. And what I'm saying is instructive. And you might want to ask me that, Fola, are you saying that without mindfulness, I can be productive? Yes, that is the truth. Without you being mindful, you can actually be lost in the process of productivity, that you will confuse being productive to being to being to actually being involved in what you're doing. You know, it's possible for us to delegate everything. As I'm here, I'm sure Remy has people she's working with. If you measure it, you can be productive without being mindful. It's possible. Because productivity, what the metrics we use to measure productivity differs. I can look at the outside and say, wow, I like what Remy is doing. I like the fact that she's blazing the trail. She's putting all her effort into these things are working for her. But if you take a close look and you talk to her one-on-one, you might discover that she's achieving most of this thing at the expense of some things that are fundamental. So that is why there's this saying that says, to yourself, be true. And what makes our success sustainable? It is the practice of mindfulness, such that when we have achieved all those things, all those lofty things we have set our hearts to do in the beginning of the year, we will not at the end of the day say, oh no, this is not where I want to be. This is not who I want to become. You know, and people out the outside are envying you. They are looking up to you. They're saying, wow, this woman has done tremendously well for herself. But within you, you are feeling so empty. That is because you've left a part of you that is supposed to keep you beyond being productive to actually becoming a person of a whole being. You've left that person unattended to in the process of achieving every other thing that is meaningful. So that is why I said, yes, productivity is possible without being mindful. Anybody can be productive if you know if you can put structures in place. But what we are discussing tonight is not losing yourself in the process of becoming or achieving goals. You know, even when we talk of relationships, if you're not careful, you tend to strain your relationships because you have not focused on nurturing you to become a whole being. You have not found yourself, you have not found strength in owning your challenges, in owning your struggles, in owning everything. It is in the process of owning everything that life throws at us that makes us sustain whatever productivity we are achieving now. So now the purpose of this conversation is not even only for now. It is for when we look back in time and we are able to say, yes, I have become a mother, I have become a successful mom, I've become a good wife, I've become a successful career woman. But in all, I have found myself and have nurtured me such that, God forbid, if everything is taken away and you are told to start all over again, you will start with confidence because you know that source. You've known yourself to that point that it's just a matter of time. If I find myself in a different environment, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to start all over again. I'm not afraid to build another business. I'm not attached to what I'm doing now because I know who I am. I am mindful of what I carry. I'm mindful of the strength that is within me to stand strong through all the lessons of life. I've learned how to do things with integrity, being a person of value. I've learned how to be loyal to a cause. So in everything, I've learned how to put myself first, such that I will not blame other people for my success or my failure. So it is a process of being true to our own self. That is what mindfulness is about. It's about understanding who you are, and that is self-awareness. Mindfulness is about being self-aware. At the end of it all, when you look back in retrospect, you will be able to take responsibility for your role in becoming a success or for your not achieving a particular goal. And I believe something. There's this movie I watched, The Law of Attraction. That movie really gave me a perspective to our role in becoming all of us. It gave me a perspective to, and the movie is available on Netflix. And it gave me a perspective to actually becoming all of us. You know, when you say mindfulness and how to sustain success, you know, now I'm saying productivity, not in the light of, let me just go to work and do something. Let me just start something and do it. I'm touching on productivity in terms of sustainability now, not something that you will do today and tomorrow you cannot sustain the success. So I discovered that as humans, there are distractions. When we say something is a law of attraction, definitely, for us to fulfill that law, we have to experience what is called focus. And the way the nature is designed, there will be distractions to actually keep us from losing focus. So it is in our ability to maintain that focus. Our ability to maintain that focus, that is where the work lies. And that is where most people fail. That is where most people give up. Because we just want to start and tomorrow we've achieved our goals without going through that rigorous process of becoming a person of value, becoming a person of integrity. And I'm hammering on value because if for instance, I want to lose some weight. Let me use that as an instance. I want to lose and I start. Yes, I say, okay, after 6, I don't eat dinner. And I do it today. You know, the moment you set your heart to something, as the same experience that Daniel had when the angel told him that the moment he set his heart to pray, God answered him. But there was this prince of Persia that just stood to make sure that his prayers are not, the answers are not delivered. So that's the same thing that happened. So one thing, you say, okay, my mind is made up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to save this particular amount. I'm going to be this disciplined. I'm going to do this. Immediately you set your heart to do it. Distractions, that is how it works. And it is that knowledge that most of us have. And we feel, because I've set my heart that this year I'm going to achieve 100K monthly, then why are things not working? Why am I when Bible says, ask and it shall be given unto you, seek and you shall find, blah, and all that. And now, yes, you have written the proposal, you have put together a sales pitch, you've done all you can, and things are still not working. And you'll be feeling, oh my, why? This is my goal. This is what. At those times, what we actually need to focus on is the power of our mind. And that is why in that short film on Netflix, it is so instructive that you know that we have to condition our mind to be fixed on our goal, no matter the distractions that happen. And it is in that process that we are formed. It is in that process that we are made. It is that this one is dogged. And these affirmations we are even saying, they are not coming to saying. It is at that point, you know, it is at that point that you need to know, yes, you are doing something right. It is not at that point that you give up and you feel, I've failed, or this thing is not working. No, it is at that point that we need to own ourselves and stick to it. There are times when there are options, there are easier options, and you feel, okay, maybe I should just bend my rules. Maybe I should just lower my standard, or maybe I should just do something. But in the journey to be mindful, we do not we do not move our gaze. We do not lower our standard. It is either we get it or we get it. And the beautiful thing is, if you're able to stay in that space, we would even amaze ourselves at the results that we are going to record. So at this point, I want to share a personal experience with us. And I think I've shared this with Remy too sometimes. Okay, so there was this time, I think it was in 2018, I'm not too sure the particular year it was, 2018, yes, it should be 2018 or 2019. There was this company, this brand that I wanted to be a part of that brand in a way. I wanted to be an associate, basically. That was my goal. So, as we all know, that is a goal. I did my vision board. I put it there. I stuck it there. My gaze was fixed on it. Even though there were other, I know that if I'm able to work, it will give me leverage, and it is expensive. Coming into that community, you have to pay expensive. So, and I told my community then, I said, I have to save towards joining this community, because this is actually where I know if I'm in this community, it will give me leverage. So that was our conversation. And my mind was just there. I made up my mind that I'm going to achieve this. So I started looking for opportunities. I started looking for ways. And that is why I say, even in the midst of the distractions, there will still be opportunities. But as humans, we tend to focus more on the distractions because they are thrown at us. They are more obvious. The noise of the distraction keeps us from calming down to see the opportunities in the process of achieving our goal. So in the bid, I kept doing, I reached out to them on Instagram. I showed them my profile. I was just doing my own groundwork. Even though I know the fee to join that community is huge, I did not let that discourage me towards it. And on the side, I was trying to reach out to them. I connected with them on LinkedIn, followed them on Instagram. I tried to know who founded this brand. So I was just doing everything I could while trying to raise the money. The money was not forthcoming. You know how it is. It wasn't forthcoming. But I did not let that blindfold me from seeing the other opportunities I could to achieve that same goal. So I kept it. I said, this thing I'm going to, if it takes me serving my way up, I'm ready. Started. I was reaching out. I started with that. So on it, not too long, like 2 weeks after I even shared it in my community that I want to be on this platform, not up to 2 weeks after that day, I was driving home and I just got a message. Interestingly, there was a mail from this organization that I've been the right word? I've been in honorary, yes, honorary membership. I said, excuse me, how does that work? Like honorary, and like, so the interesting thing is the goal that I set for that year, I did not let the only way to that was air. The only way to that goal, humanly speaking, is for me to pay to be a member. Wait to be a member of that. But because I did not let the distraction, how will I? Yes, I was trying to raise the money wasn't coming at that time, but I did not let that stop me from looking at other opportunities, other channel to connect with that brand. And eventually I became an honorary member. And that that relationship alone gave me the leverage I needed. So when you have been hoping to be somewhere, you are already prepared to take on the opportunities that comes with it. So that gave me a leverage in ways I cannot even. I was even gisting someone this week that what that brand alone has done for me, money cannot buy it. So I'm trying to drive this home to what our conversation is tonight. That mindfulness is key. And that when we say we are mindful, it is about us finding the possibilities in the moment, the possibilities that will take us from point A to point B. We've established that mindfulness is being present in the moment. So when you are present, what are you present doing? Are you present focusing on what is not going to work, ways that is not going to work? Are you present focusing on relationships that will not nurture you to achieve that goal? Are you present in that moment, focusing on the impossibilities, or you are present in the moment, focusing on the power that is available? Because we are humans of we are humans that have divine support at our disposal. The most powerful part of us is our mind, and that is where it starts and ends. If in your mind, you make up your mind that this course, I want to go through it. I want to achieve this. I want to do this. Definitely, just like those Prince of Persia stood by Daniel the moment he made up his mind to be a better person, to ask, to do the right thing. If we focus on those impossibilities, we would lose on the opportunity that is available. Those opportunities are very silent and they need us to be calm. So that is why the scripture, I've said it earlier, I know some of us here are not Christians, and I'm going to be very careful to just make it that it is how it is. When you set your mind to do things, some situations will just start showing you ways that you cannot achieve them. But you can leverage on your relationships. That is one thing that is very powerful. Even I always try to be better when it comes to relationship. It's not everything that we need money to achieve. Most times what the answer you need, it can just be in the circle. So I'm going to take us further by saying we have to be deliberate about the company we keep. It is very, very important. It's one of the things we need to be careful about, the companies we keep, the kind of associations we belong to. And these are things we should deliberately find. I was meditating not too long ago, and I discovered that we are in a phase in this time. We're in a phase where it is the kind of relationship that will get you into some doors. And the power of relationship is at play in this season more than ever before. The power of relationship is at play. It is not about what you know. It is, of course, you have to know something before doors can be opened unto you. But beyond what we know, the kind of relationships, we have to be mindful. Not relationships that will not nurture us. Not relationships that will tell us, babe, give up. Or relationships that will say, why are you dreaming so high? Or relationships that will not motivate us to try. And in all of this, we are not saying every time we try, we are bound to get the desired results. And you remember I said it earlier, that mindfulness makes us a better person in that process. Mindfulness makes us more grateful, because if you discover that you are trying to achieve a goal, things are not just working, you already know that it is given. That once you set your heart to do something, there will be oppositions. And once you know that, you will be in that space of calm, because until you are calm, you cannot see the possibilities. You cannot see the possibilities. So I always use that strategy when I want to achieve a goal. The space I'm in is a service-based industry. So in a service-based industry, as a consultant, the number of no's you get, if you write a pitch, if you drop a proposal, the number of no's you get, if you drop 90 proposals, I can betting with you that you can get 85 no's. or even 89, or even 90. But how do you now take that rejection, the no's? How do you take, because there's a feedback in every no. The no does not mean you are not worthy, or you don't know what you are doing. But there is in that no, because you are a mindful person, because you are mindful. You are not just there for a quick fix. Because you are mindful, you stay there and you critically look at, okay, what could we have done differently? And I'm trying to be very practical tonight, because these are things I've done and I've seen results. So it is in that space when you are trying to look at how can we do this differently, that you actually become a better person. And that is the goal of mindfulness. Becoming a better version than I was yesterday, doing things differently, not giving up at the slightest resistance, because some resistance are there to even help you to achieve. You might be a detour, but it does not mean it is the end. So most times, as mindful humans, we keep looking at, okay, what can we do differently? I'm trying to do this, it's not working. There's a plan. Hey, there will be, okay, this is not getting me to where my destination. How else can I do this? But you cannot achieve this if you are always in that state of agitation. If you are not mindful. And that is why we discovered that most people, because we are in that space of agitation, I've set my heart to do this. I expected someone to do this, they are not doing it. We lose out on the bigger picture. We do not take time to be grateful for the little things, for the challenges, for the difficulties we're experiencing. It is very easy for us to say, oh, those people are not serious. Whereas all we need to do is on us. Do it differently. You cannot do anything differently if you are more mindful of the role you are playing. So one, gratitude. These are skills, and I'm trying to drive on the point now. These are things we should do. When you have a target, you have something that you are desiring. These are the things we can apply. Gratitude. It works every time. When I get agitated and I feel I'm not in charge, things are not going as planned, there are times I let go, definitely. There are times I let go, but those times I know I have to let go. There's a part of you, when you have worked on yourself, you come to that point where you know that, okay, this I need to let go. Maybe not for now, maybe it can work at a later time, but it is not. Those are exceptions, and they are rare. And the more we work on ourselves, the more we become intentional. We are grateful. We practice gratitude. We practice being intentional, being in the moment. That is when we can actually come to that space where we can say, yes, we are at a point where our mind is in a shape that it can attract opportunities, that it can see challenges, and with those challenges rather, still see opportunities. It takes a mind that has been trained. So mindfulness prepares us. It is more of a training experience. It trains us. It's a process of training our mind to see what is possible. And it is whatever we focus on that we attract. And that takes me back to the law of attraction. The reason why most of us some people will tell me that for our vision board does not work. And I beg to disagree. Vision board works 100% every time. If a vision board does not work, it is either of two things. You did not put yourself in the position to become your mind in that position to attract what you have envisioned. It's very simple. Because the purpose of mindfulness is for you to just deal and train your mind to attract opportunities that you have envisioned. You've seen it first. And that is the hardest part, seeing it. So once you have seen it, nothing should, fine, there'll be challenge. And I'm trying to let us know that these are things I've practiced. And I'm not trying to tell us something that I've not experienced. Nothing should distract us from achieving that goal. It might not come in, maybe you say you want to achieve it in 365 days. Definitely. It might not come in 365 days, But because you have set your mind to it, because you have seen it, your mind can achieve it. If you are willing to train that mind to see the possibilities. Let me also give an instance. There's this time I read the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That book, that book will just get you to act. When you read that book, you want to act. So I wrote this bill. I wrote how much I wanted to earn then, and I wanted to make in 365 days. So I wrote it. It was huge, So I wrote it. Obviously, I did not achieve that goal because at that time, I had not become that person. My mind, even though my mind saw it, seeing it is one thing. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I can even see that I want to earn this amount. But my mind needed to go through the process of becoming the person that will earn that amount. So after reading that book, I left it. I said, Mom, this book is a lie, Joe. It's not working. Whereas I now listened to my mentor. That's Pastor Sam. So he now preached again. One of the sermons, he said the first time he read that book too, he actually was the one that mentioned that book to us sometimes in church. So he said the first time he read the book, the principles, his mind had not grown into that space. So it took him working on himself, then reading the book again, then again. So it is a journey. Mindfulness is a journey, such that by the time we achieve some results, some people will now look at us and say, how did she do it? They won't know that it is not something you can teach. Like you can just tap into. I tap into that anointing. It is a journey, and we must be willing to go through that journey in our mind. It starts from the mind. Are you willing to take disappointment and turn them into advantages? Are you willing to just see things and look at it critically without being emotional and without feeling someone is trying to not make you, not give you what you deserve? So the old summary of this conversation is on us working on our minds to attract what we have set our hearts to. Definitely. The challenges that will come, they are part of the package. They are part of the package. They are meant to actually make us, they are meant to keep us, logged out, okay. Hello, Remy. Hello, Remy. Wow. Hello, Remy. Ouch. Hello, Remy. Hello. I need a feedback, please. Hello. Please, can you hear me? I got a message from Remy that I'm logged out.
We can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, because Remy,
I can hear you too.
Did you lose me at any point?
No.
Okay, because I got a message from Remy that I was logged out. Okay.
You are
Okay,
on.
so
We
as I
can
was
hear
saying,
you clearly.
okay. Remy?
Yeah, the network has locked me out for the past 30 minutes.
You?
Yes, I'm telling you.
Oh, so sorry about that. Because I thought you said it logged me out. Okay.
No.
But I was saying, as I was saying, mindfulness is a journey. It is a journey, and it is a constant and never-ending journey. It is a journey that we have to be on, and we have to be deliberate about. It's not something we say we want to do just for a while and let go. No, it is something that we have to stick to. And it is in the sticking to it that we become the person that is fit to actually attract everything we have written down. And there's this beautiful thing about the power of the mind. When your mind sees that you are ready, when your mind knows that you are ready, those things will happen. Those things will happen. Those opportunities will start coming because you've worked on yourself to that point where you've become magnetic. You have become refined, such that everything you dreamt of, you start achieving them without even making any efforts, because you have gone through that process of refining. So that is my encouragement for us tonight. We might not look like it. We might be at that space where we feel we are struggling. I have my struggles too. You know, we might not be at that space, but we should not give up on ourselves. We should not give up on self-development. We should not give up on investing in that part of us that is most important, and that is our mind. We have to guard it. And the scripture says, guard your mind with all diligence. Interpretations. What interpretations are we giving situations around us? Are we learning from them? Are we learning from them? Or we just feel we are unfortunate, or we feel some people are more privileged, you know? So these are the mind shifts we have to have. We are privileged. We are deserving. The fact that we do not have it now, it is even for our own good at times, but we do not know. Maybe we just need to put ourselves in that space, in that state of mind, that we can actually receive what we are asking God for. Because there are some blessings we feel, this is what I need now. But if you have them, I was telling a friend today, he was complaining that he has been trying, and he's really trying hard. I just told him there are times we feel we know what we need per time, but we might not be ready in the true sense of it. We might not be ready. And that is why I do not want our situation, our challenges, our experiences to make us feel less of who we are. We should not allow anything anybody has told us to make us feel less of who we are. We are a work in progress, and with the skill of mindfulness, we can become anything we put our minds to. We can become it, such that when we achieve those goals, even we will look back and we'll be able to actually pass it on and train other people. You know, now we have few people that you can actually learn from, because they have not gone through the process. They did not go through the process. They just mix. They are just cutting corners, and that is why, if God is making us go through some seasons, it's actually He wants to use us as a spectacle, someone that you can stand tomorrow and tell the younger person, or even people within your network, that in the process of waiting, in the process of trying, work on your mind. Work on your mind. So in closing, I'm going to tell us some things we should do to work on our mind. I've said it. Self-development. Self-development, it is key. And self-development means different things to different people. To me, I listen to messages. I listen to messages. To some people learn by traveling. You know, some people, they would rather go travel. That is how they develop, when they go on adventures. You know, traveling does not necessarily mean you can actually travel reading books. So if you love traveling, and that is how you connect with your inner self, it could be you can travel through books. You can read books that open your mind to become the kind of person you want to be. Self-development too, read books, find people that you want to model your life after. Find mentors. It is hard, it is very rare to see mentors that will give us that will be willing to mentor. But some of them, as I did with that brand that I wanted to connect to, everybody is on Instagram now. You can connect with them, send them a gift. There's a favor I earned by just sending a throw pillow. It is even Remy that did that throw pillow for me then. I just asked her, there's this woman I wanted to connect to, and there was an opportunity for me to meet her. I did not go empty-handed. We were many in that room. When it came to my turn to introduce myself, I introduced myself with a gift. I said, "Ma'am, I've wanted to meet you forever. So I do not take this opportunity for granted. I have a little gift for you." So because I'm mindful of where I'm going, so that's what I'm saying. You cannot just give up on this journey. No, we cannot afford it, because we have come so far, and it's at times we are almost there. We just need to shift. just as the theme of this platform is, it might just be that little shift that we need in our mind. Do you expect a lot from people? If you expect a lot from people, there's a shift you have to make in that regard. You know, do you give up at the slightest disappointment? It's a shift. We have to tell ourselves the truth. So as I was saying, you have to develop yourself through books, through mentorship, and through network. We cannot emphasize that more. It is very important. Mentorship, networking. There are some networks that you have to pay to be a part of. It is worth it. It is worth it. It is worth it. There are some trainings we have to go, you have to pay. You know, at the point we are paying for those things, it might look like, me that I even need help, I'm still squeezing. What we're doing now is investment. What we are doing now is we are learning. We are learning. I'm not all knowing, but I can share because I've tested some things, I've tried some things, and I've come to a point where I know that some things work. Some things work. So I can confidently say, networking is powerful. Being carefully and deliberate about your network. It is, in fact, if you want to be, maybe for instance, in 2 years, you want to be maybe you work for someone and you want to be maybe a team leader, or you want to hold a leadership position. Whatever association that your future looks like, you have to be there now. Whatever association, there is one association now that I know that is my future. That is the kind of network I want to belong to. The kind of women I see there, they speak to me. They speak to me. So I'm saving up now. Even though I'm still using that strategy that has worked, I'm still using that strategy. You said what?
I said the networks look like where you are heading to.
Where you are heading to. So I'm trying to strategize. I'm seriously, any events they have, I'm there. Any session they are holding, I'm there. Any free thing they are doing now, I'm there. Till I'm able to afford being there. And there's something too that I learned along the way about if you're aiming for someone to mentor you, or you want to belong to a community, how much of that community do you know now? How much of that community do you know now? For instance, you want let me look at an example that is very close to us. Okay, now let's say everybody wants an opportunity with Otedola. We all want a 1 minute with Dangote. Have we read any of his books? Do you have anything that when you meet with him, you can categorically say, sir, you are building a refinery at the free trade zone now. These are things I know. By the time you have that opportunity, now, what will you tell Otedola? Or what will you tell Dangote that will make him listen? We've been taught elevator pitch. Most of the time, elevator pitch is not about us. They want to know that you are interested in them, not what you can even take from them. And it takes a mindful person to tour that route, to actually research and, okay, this is where I'm going, and do things, take each experience and just be consistent. Like, okay, this is where I want to go, this is who I want to become, and actually tailor our lives and our efforts to becoming that person. And as I said earlier, everything will happen. All those goals we've written down, they will happen. They are just waiting for us. We are the only ones standing in the way of those things from preventing it from happening, because we still have a lot of things on our mind. We are not in that space where our mind is free enough to accept. Some people now, if they make money today, there are some people they will show, that if I make it today, I will show this person. These are these things. God is checking our minds. He's checking our motives. So that's why we say everything is about us. Mindfulness is about us becoming a better person. And by the time we are ready, things will fall in place. So I hope with this little, I've been able to communicate and actually encourage us on mindfulness and why we need to actually be deliberate about it. Thank you for the opportunity, Remy. Thank you.
This
Thank you, everyone.
can we just, give her a round of applause, please? Let's just unmute and say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So do we have any question? Any question? Does anybody have any question? Let me check the chat room. Wow. Okay, no question yet.
All right.
Oh, so for me, my note is actually filled up. Even though I was locked out for almost 30 minutes, you don't even want to know the struggle I was having here. But I'm so happy that, I jotted a lot even when the session started. And let me tell you some of the things I personally actually, gleaned on while she was, dishing out all those goals. Now, she said, owning the moment. That's what mindfulness is all about. And that is just the truth. Do you know that you can be mindful in your state of mind, and there's also a level of distraction where you are not also present? He said, owning the moment, it means who you are becoming. So that is what mindfulness is all about, who you are becoming. Like Remy, who are you becoming? And now some of the things I also learned from what she said is that, see, we need to get to a level where we are magnetic enough to connect with some of the things that we are present with in our mind. And that is the level where mindfulness becomes the reality.
That is it.
Magnetic, such that let me tell you something that happened to me recently. See, these things work. Ever since I started this journey of self-consciousness, honestly, it works. The things I listen to, the people I allow to, to channel words into my life, I have become so deliberate, such that even sometimes when I go on social media, let me be frank with you, when I go on social media, when I see a negative vibe, in fact, there's something I also did recently. Do you know that on Instagram, in fact, across your social media platform, do you know that you can limit the time that you surf the media? Like for instance, on Instagram, you can set the time at which you are on Instagram to be 10 minutes or 5 minutes for a whole day. Where you have some people, they will just, as they are scrolling from Bella Niger, they are checking Nigeria wedding, they are checking the list. And there was something I stumbled on recently. And before I knew what was happening, my mind was already shifting. So I was looking at some of the celebs and, the kind of wealth they have been able to build for themselves. I saw AY Life, apartment. Oh my goodness. That guy does not need to go to anywhere. Then do you know that my mind started shifting, started drifting away, started feeling insecure in myself. The moment I saw that season, hello, sorry, hearing me?
Yes, we are with you.
Yeah, the moment I saw that, I switched. I knew that something was already playing in my mind. Now, that is because I am conscious of my person. And that's why even this mindfulness comes with you understanding the value that you have to offer. You need to understand the value that you want to offer, paying attention to yourself. Now, so I begin to ask myself, Remy, why are you thinking that you are not worthy? Why do you think somebody is better off than you? Why do you think you cannot have some of those things that you anticipate? Why do you think that the things that you have written in your goals, the stories that you have written about yourself, because see, goal setting is like writing a story, excuse me, about yourself. Goal setting is like a journey. Mindfulness is like a journey. You will not begin to, have those things except you are in tune with those things. Now, that now brings me to self-awareness. Who are you? Like, who are you? What is the value that you are bringing? She said something. She said, see, those things that you see, those things that you have written, they will come to full manifestation. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. Now, where relationship comes in is you need to understand the community where, where you are heading to looks like. I love how she hit on that. She said there are some community that you will need to pay for. Because you know why? Excuse me, I'm in some community that I'm paying for because those communities looks like where I am heading to. They look like where I can meet my clients, where I can meet my prospects. Sometimes you see me post things on my social media platform and it's looking like, am I doing magic? It's not magic. There are some sacrifices I had to make. There are some people that I have met in my life that if I did not pay for access, I will not have opportunity to meet them. So mindfulness is also part of that journey where you understand that where you are heading to, this is what it looks like. What is it that I need to pay for that? Now, there's also the place of attitude. So I'm telling you some of the things I gleaned from what she actually said this night. There's a place for attitude. You need to have the right attitude. Let me tell you something. There was something that happened to me one day. Okay, so there was a period in one of the community where I belong to, and we're reading, Happy Pocket Full of Money. I don't know how many of you have read that book, Happy Pocket Full of Money. And this guy began to tell us the journey to wealth and how you can sustain even the wealth. There is a big margin between being rich and being wealthy. And where I actually want to be is to be wealthy. Now, there's also an attitude that follows all of those things. And so if you're not in the right state of mind, you will not be able to assimilate some of those things. So those are the things I have learned from what she said this night. So I need to have a right attitude because that is how I can even get connected to networking. Nobody wants to come around somebody who have a very low spirit, who have a negative vibe, because you wake up in the morning, you are reading your affirmation and you are bubbling in your spirit. And all of a sudden you go out and somebody is speaking negatively to you. What do? You will move away because that can be very contagious. So when you see people like me, when I relate with Mrs. Oshashino, it's because she's given me the kind of vibes that I want. Her journey looks like where I'm going to. We have been on this journey over a decade. In fact, as a matter of fact, the first day that we met, she said there was something different about me. We just connected. She has never met me. Out of so many people that came for interview, over 100, she picked me out. She said there is something about me, and that was how the relationship started. Okay, do you want to tell me that we have not had issues in this relationship? We have had issues in this relationship, but we have moved on. That is where maturity comes in. So a lot of us, we have issues with people, and we are saying that is the end of that relationship. Who told you so? Who told you that is the end of that relationship? Do you know that relationship that you are thinking you are neglecting can also be an open door for you again? And that's why they will always say that, see, be mindful of the door that you're shutting, because you will realize that you also need to open that door over and over and over again. So all of these things are the things that channels us into productivity. And sometimes productivity could also mean you taking a break to rest. A lot of people want to catch up with the Joneses. You don't even know that even the Joneses are living a fake life. So tonight, I also want to leave you with this, that you need to understand your triggers. what are the things that gives you negative vibes? What are the things that gives you negative, inspiration? What are the things that gives you positive inspiration? I want to encourage you to glean more on the things that give you the positive, inspiration, that give you positive triggers. Because when you understand some of these triggers, when you understand the negative triggers and you understand the positive triggers, you will tend to be on the positive triggers than the negative triggers. So these are the things, we are talking about, that there are certain things that we can have control over. You can have control over your mind. So what it means that you can declutter your mind. You can tell yourself what you want to hear, what you want to listen to, who you want to affect, the way you think, and, some other things. So on this note tonight, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone. I don't know if anyone has any question. I'm checking the chat room and I'm not seeing any question. Somebody saying, though I'm just joining due to a program I went for, but this last statement, which is said, operate in what you want to become. Yes. How much of your community did you know? Yes. Thank you for the marvelous presentation. I really appreciate great opportunity for the invite. Question. Okay, there's a question. How can one guide his thoughts? I'm not getting this question very well. How can one guide his thoughts? Is a very distracted environment like organization, which with much negative vibes and distracted environment. Mrs. Shashana, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm answering him already.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Can you say something about that? I think I have a feel of the question.
So I said, I'm trying to respond,
Okay.
but I would still like for anyone here to add to that answer. If you have something, if you've experienced it before, you can say something and that line. So I'm going to answer that question, even though I've dropped something in the chat room. I'm going to answer that question from my own personal experience. Okay, my first, when I started my career, I started at Stanbic. I started with banking. And my line manager then was very, is impossible. He's impossible. When you say someone is impossible, you cannot please him. You cannot do anything right. So, but I was young. I did not have a mentor. I did not know, because one thing I do not like is when you take people for granted. So when you do that, it's something that actually triggers me. So what I did was I wrote a mail. You won't imagine. I wrote a mail to the HR directly because it was affecting my mental health. Anything you do, it will complain. To the point that he even went to hide my appraisal because my appraisal was a hey. He went to hide it. So you can imagine that kind of toxic boss when you are dealing with someone that is that toxic. But I should have done the follow the due process. Like talk to my immediate line manager, take it from there, or talk to my, just seek how we can better counsel. I should have sought better counsel then, but no, I wrote HR directly. What they did, they investigated, they found out that it was true. So they actually moved him from that branch. And the reason why I said I wish I had guidance then was it came to a time then when I needed help. But because of his own network, he was a bigger guy in the banking. So they have already noted me. Paula, that girl. Me. I was just, so by the time I needed help, a major help, they were just moving me from one, to the other. So I eventually had to resign. So I would advise, seek help and do it professionally. Don't take it personal. I took it personal then. It's work. Don't take it personal. Report politely. Do the right thing. Politely. They can change. And if you see that this thing is not going to work, I would advise you plan your exit honorably. Just plan it honorably and leave with your honor intact. Don't create any scene. Don't make anybody feel like they are sabotaging your efforts. No. Because they always say it in the corporate world that you can't win a war with your boss. And it holds true. It holds true if you're going to be sincere, because they have their meetings, and there are some rooms you won't be there, when they are recommending people, but when they see that you have a good attitude, these are little things that count. How do you handle conflicts? It's called conflict resolution. So except you know that you've done all things humanly possible and you still feel threatened, you still feel unsafe, at that point, I would say you can exit. But while you are there, be planning your exit and try and see if there's anything that can change. That's my advice. Thank you. But if someone else has something different, please let's help Yusuf. Thank you. Hello, Remy. Hello, Remy. Oh, I don't think she's here. Hello, Remy. Hello, Bukola. Bukola. I think
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you. I'm here.
Yeah, I think Remy is not available.
Yeah, perhaps it's our network again. Let me try to reach her.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you can just round up so you can round up so we can move on.
All right, ma'am. That's
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
all right. Thank you, ma, very much for the time. I learned a whole lot of things. I think. Is there another question again? Let me check.
Oh, good.
Okay. So someone answered here as well. All right.
Good. Thank you. Thank you to that person too.
Yeah. So
Okay.
thank you to that. Thank you very much for your time and for. I think it's a time well spent. I learned a lot of things, and
thank you.
I thank God for Sister Remy too, and thank God for the relationship between you. That is why we are enjoying this moment with you this evening. So hopefully our recording is still on. So I want to believe that we can still get the replay.
No problem.
So yeah, so get the replay on Mindshift, and then I'm sure she will send you the replay as well. Thank you for everyone for joining us. Thank you so much. And then Sister Remy has the community. It's called the Mindshift series. And so we have a WhatsApp group where we share minds and we share things like that, like this kind of coaching calls. And I think before the end of this year, we should have another coaching call. So I want every one of us to please follow on Instagram and on Facebook, Mindshift series, to know more. If you have not started following now, please follow Mindshift series on IG and on Facebook. Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope this is a time well spent. Thank you so much, Ma. We appreciate this.
All right.
All right. Good night, everyone. I want everyone to just come on and say thank you and good night. Good night, everyone. You can unmute yourself and just say good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you,
Good
Mr.
night.
Davidari.
Good night,
Thank you so much.
everyone.
Good night. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Good
Mrs.
night.
Bukola.
Good night. Yes, good night, Mrs. Osashono.
Regards to Remy.
I will do that. Thank you.